back for lessons 7.1 and 7.2. And these lessons we're going to be dealing with rolls. There's basically two different types of rolls, and within those rolls there's lots of different links. So let's get into learning what the types are, and then we can dabble into the different links in 7.2. So the first one is what we call a buzz roll. Sometimes it's known as a press roll, multiple bounce roll, and or sometimes I'll refer to it as a close roll. But most of the time the most common name is buzz roll. And the way it's accomplished, if you look at the chart there on your book in page 17, it's illustrated by basically you have these quarter notes that are real big, and then it kind of dwindles down to almost nothing. And big R and down to a small r, and then it goes to the left hand. Same sort of thing. What that's trying to illustrate is that basically what's happening is that we're getting multiple attacks on the drum, and it can diminish, if you will, not necessarily in sound, but in distance from the head. And the goal is to try to get as many of them as you can within one stroke of your stick. Okay, let me just kind of demonstrate. I'll go slow and then speed up and go back down, and then we'll talk about how I accomplished it. Okay, now what was happening is basically I'm taking my stick, I'm pressing down, I'm letting it bounce as many times as possible. It's not, you can't have a death grip, first of all, because it won't work. And then second of all, you don't want to have it to where it's so loosey-goosey that you're getting that. Okay, so it's a mixture of basically kind of hitting the head and then pressing just a little bit with your fingers and pressing up as you kind of feel it going into the palm of your hand. Now, it's not a quick aspect of things, meaning you don't want to do it like that real quick, because when you do, that presses too much pressure into the head and chokes it off, and you get that type of a sound, okay? Left hand, see it from a different angle. Okay, if you notice, my fingers are not leaving the aspect of the stick. They're still underneath there, helping support and to press a little bit so that we can get that multiple bounce happening. A lot of times I'll see students doing this. They'll be tea time, okay? Yes, you can still kind of get a buzz roll out of it, but it's out of control. And especially for beginners, sticks end up flailing all over the place. You never can get a very good buzz roll when it's performed that way. So keep those fingers underneath there, don't do tea time. The other thing that I see students doing sometimes is, because this can be difficult for them to get that pressed in type sound, what will happen is that they let go of the front and they'll put the pressure on the back. Okay, can it still be accomplished? Yes. It's not the most appropriate way. Let me demonstrate. As you can see, it doesn't sound very good whatsoever, and it's very unorthodox. You know, especially if you're playing this way, then all of a sudden you come to a roll and you switch to the back. You know, you're constantly going to be going back and forth. Not a good technique. Not going to be able to provide and play certain passages in music that you're reading at school, or so on and so forth. So you want to keep those fingers attached to it. As you saw, what was happening was that basically it's getting choked off right there in this joint between your palm and your first finger. So that's just as much as what this is, same result. Okay, so once you've gotten the best technique happening, what your goal is basically to try to connect the notes. Where one is about to phase out, the next one comes in. So that you hear a constant buzzing type sound and there's no break. Okay, once that starts to happen, now you're ready to start picking up the speed.